Hello, we are Group 5. Today we are going to present Audit Community Report of Starbucks. I'm Yulin Zhang, and I'm going to cover the nature of entity and the Starbucks industry, regulatory, and external factor.
My name is Ji Han. I will cover objective, strategy, and business risk, performance measurement measures, and monitoring.
I'm Connie Ding, and I will talk about the management and the governance.
So next, I'm going to talk about nature of an entity. So we know the Starbucks is a place we can have a coffee and have a place to socialize. And the major resource of Starbucks is selling coffee. And the entity's key customer is from age 20 to 45. The most people are students and professional men and women. So the key supplier of Starbucks is a coffee bean from farmer in Latin America. So the entity's organization structure is a metric organization structure. So the metric organization structure is a functional structure and a geographic division and a product-based division teams. So the significant event of Starbucks in this year is Starbucks acquired Tivena by $620 million in 2012. So there is no major issue in Starbucks. However, in the news about 2 weeks ago, there's about discrimination issues in Starbucks in Philadelphia against 2 black men. So next, I will talk about the regulatory and external factor. So we know Starbucks, the main competitor is the Dunkin' Donuts and the McDonald's. So the technological factor in the coffee industry is not significant since it's not high-tech technology in the coffee industry. The change in the political environment will impact on the export or import tax. However, the competition from local coffee shop that offers no cost of coffee. That's why the Dunkin' Donuts main competitor, I would say, could be so I would say the Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, and the local coffee shop will be the main competitor of Starbucks. So next, Hanga will talk about the objective, strategy, and the business risk.
The objective of the company are leadership position in its core market, good client relationship, and target market worldwide. It includes provide customer service that develop satisfying relationship with our customer, embrace the changing way of community, and strive to impact the environment in a good way, maintain a level of commitment to brand that create a successful organization. The strategy plan include expanding global retail business, open additional store, and increase market share. Starbucks strategy is fairly simple: increase the perception of high quality of a product, become a custom store to the customer's lifestyle. The company have an entity risk assessment process that includes estimating the significance of the risk, assertion the likelihood of its occur, and determine the action needed to responding to the risks. The entity has enterprise risk management, provide early involvement and exposure to risk and information before they happen. The risk assessment process of the entity will affect the plan of the audit and the audited procedure. Entity measure its success based on employee accomplishment. Management is required to calculate the fair value of the intangible asset if employees do not perform a qualitative impairment assessment. About the internal audit function, audit include review tax filing position, include timing and amount of documentation, take and the allocation of income between tax justification. The Vice President Internal Audit shall report to the committee, review the internal audit department staff, budget, and responsibility. Then Connie will talk about management.
Then I will talk about the management. A code of conduct has been established that includes policies regarding acceptable business practices and conflicts of interest. The standards of business conduct help employees make decisions in their daily work and demonstrate that they take their legal and ethical responsibilities seriously. The management adequately monitor the business risks, and the chair always oversees operations across all business units, playing an active role in a number of key initiatives such as operational excellence, strong project performance, and comprehensive risk management and safety efforts. The security team um, has built what it calls the enterprise security platform. The center also watches risk management conditions for travelers and facilities around the globe. Management encourages treat employees fairly and providing them with opportunity for growth. The management of Starbucks is responsible for establishing and maintaining adequate internal control over financial reporting. Internal control over financial reporting is a process to provide reasonable assurance regarding the reliability of our financial reporting for external purpose in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States. Internal control of financial reporting includes maintaining records that in reasonable detail accurately and fairly reflect our transactions, providing reasonable assurance that transactions are recorded as necessary for preparation of our financial statements, providing reasonable assurance that receipts and expenditures are made in accordance with management authorization, and providing reasonable assurance that unauthorized acquisition, use, or disposition of company assets that could have a material effect on our financial statements would be prevented or detected on a timely basis. Because of its inherent limitations, internal control of financial reporting is not intended to provide absolute assurance that misstatements of our financial statements would be prevented or detected. The financial manager will be responsible for financial management and oversight of the project budget and for monitoring and reporting on project spending and finances. The finance manager is also specifically responsible for monitoring of fraud and abuse of funds and protecting the project against these types of abuses. Management are willing to book misstatements that we identify during the audit. And for governance, according to the board of directors and its major committees, they have 14 members and the 11 of them are independent directors. The board shall meet at least 6 times each fiscal year, and additional meetings may be held in person or by telephone when necessary. The board nomination and the governance committee reviews the appropriate skills and characteristics of the board members each year based on the current composition of the board, the company's operational requirements, and the long-term interests of the shareholders, including to investigate any activity of the company within the scope of responsibilities, and shall have unrestricted access to members of management and all information relevant to its responsibilities. Members of committee are expected to use all reasonable efforts to attend each meeting as necessary or desirable. The chair may request that members of management, the internal audit director, and the representatives of the independent auditors be present at the meeting of the committee. And we will do the conclusion.
So as a conclusion, we do the different risk perspective of Starbucks, of a natural of entity, and the industrial and the regulatory and the external factor, and also of objective strategy and the business risk, and the performance measure and the monitoring and the management and the governance. We hope that this information will make a clear view for Starbucks. If there is any questions, please let me know. Thank you.